business associate. My name is Charles and Amenyah. You know, I don't host these things. There's so much value and so much quality in the team that there is a great presenter and a great leader who's going to do this. Now, I am so honored to introduce our host. This man, I've done business with him for 2 years. He's been an exceptional person. He's been consistent. In fact, he's been diligent. He's been a brother. He's been a leader. He's been my sounding board, my chastening rod. He's been a lot of things to me. And without him, I don't think I would be in this business and be having the level of success I have. He's led by example, led by ethics, led by effort, and he's been just the right guy. And I am so honored to introduce our marketing director, soon to be RMD, crashing the money, making a living, and the one and only drop that yam, who is now not dropping yams, he's dropping boarding passes around the airport as he travels. Harold Amenyah. Harold, if you can hear, take it away, brother.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Charles, for that powerful introduction. Can you hear me good?
Loud and clear, brother.
I love it. Thank you so much. So, well, good evening, guys. Welcome to our exclusive call. I am back. It's the 14th day of September 2020. Is our Monday Night Live exclusive session. Now, tonight, we are very privileged to have one very special lady, somebody that I've been looking forward to having a chit chat with for the longest time. Ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea how long I've been waiting for this opportunity to talk to this lady. I have admired from afar. Listen, I sit back and I watch her and I'm like, what drives this woman? You know, so much passion, very consistent, very resilient, and I've just got so much love and respect for this lady. You are going to hear from a regional marketing director in our business, somebody who has actually been there, done that, been involved in this company for quite a bit. She has earned 100,000 U in her lifetime in this business, and ladies and gentlemen, you definitely to stay awake just to grace our hot seat tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very privileged to welcome the one and only Regional Marketing Director, Sally Ensor-Smith. Sally, good evening and welcome to our call.
Good evening, Harold. Well, I think I'm more excited to be on the call than you are because, you know, I've been watching you guys from afar and I can't wait for us to be able to travel and come to Ghana and come and work with you guys. I've been saying that to Charles now for over a year and a half. So very excited to be on this call and good evening to everybody in Ghana.
Wow. Well, we can't wait to have you. Listen, we just can't wait. We just can't wait to have you. So make sure that once the coast is clear, Ghana is your first destination. Just make sure. Can you promise me that?
I have to because, you know, we've had our first IMD out of Ghana popped in the last week. And I know that there's going to be another one, you know, if not by the end of this year, early next year. And it's definitely going to come out of the, you know, out of the team you are running right now with Charles. For sure, you guys are going to be popping an IMD very soon.
Awesome. That's going to happen. So we're going to go straight into our business for tonight. Now, Sally, I mean, a lot of us know you. I mean, we see you do all that. We see you at the top, enjoying all that success. But really, how did it all start for you? I mean, who was Sally before World Ventures?
So, you know, the funny thing was, well, obviously Andrew and I own a short-term insurance brokerage that we've had for 27 years. And the reality is that being in the insurance industry, everything is word of mouth. You know, somebody tells somebody about us and then we go do the insurances for them. So essentially I've been doing network marketing for the last, 24 years when somebody said to me, can they show me this concept? And I actually said no. And then 15 months later, Peter Kuffler, IMD Peter, actually phoned up Andrew and asked Andrew to take a look. And Andrew took a look and he didn't understand it. He really wasn't interested in it, but he came home and he said, you know, maybe when you're ready, Sally, you must have a look at this other business that Peter and Chris are doing. And I said no, flat out. I said I wasn't interested in looking at anything. I thought I was too busy, running our insurance brokerage, being a mom. Both my kids were in their last 2 years of high school. And I was very actively involved in doing my personal fitness. I was doing, the training shows at the time. So there were two things. I thought I was too cool to do network marketing because I didn't understand it. And I definitely thought I was too busy for it. And what happened is my dad got really sick and he passed away, and there just felt like a shift in my world. Like I needed to see something new. It's funny because these opportunities come to you exactly when you need them in your life. And I said to Andrew, get hold of Peter and Chris and let's have a look at this opportunity again. Peter's then wife, Kerry, came and showed me, and all she did was push play on a video. I watched the video. I saw travel and I saw a way to make money in US dollars. And I said to her, give me 48 hours and I'm going to come back to you. And literally, I put myself in the system. I phoned her up. I said, give me the website, give me your sponsor ID. And I registered myself on the Thursday evening. And on the Friday, I knew nothing about what we had signed up for, but I made 8 appointments on the Friday. I went and showed everybody that was closest to me. They all said no. And about a couple of days after that, I got this phone call from somebody who said that they wanted to come and do a presentation at my house, and his name was Sashin Governor. And I didn't know who Sashin was at the time. And I said, "Yeah, that's fine. You can come over to my house." And I was thinking they were going to come over and they were going to do the presentation. And Sashin walked in the house and he said, "Come, let me tell you what to do." And that was how it all started. Literally, Sashin threw me in the deep end, made me do that first presentation right from the get-go. And I think I just fell in love with a process of working with different people that I'd never met before. It was travel, the sexiest product in the world. You know, it's something that I'm passionate about. And it became a love affair with myself and World Ventures, to be very honest with you. And that was in November 2015, 5 years ago. And then in January 2016, Sashin said to me, "Sally, why don't you come to America to, you know, the 10-year convention?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, let's go. Let me go and meet Wayne Nugent and a couple of other people." And I hadn't done anything in the business at that time, and flew over with Sashin and Chris and Peter, and we all shared a house together. And obviously I got to spend 4 magical days at the 10-year anniversary convention. And I phoned Andrew up and I said, "I still don't know what this is that we've joined, but it's something huge. This company has just got something magical and I feel like I'm at home." I just felt like it was where I was meant to be. I'd been waiting for this for many years, and I had fallen in love with the company. And the first year we just took holidays. Andrew and I did, in 2 years, we did like 30 holidays. I mean, these are all our dream trips here, you know? So we've been collecting dream trip bands, and it was only really, I started dragging Andrew to all the training events, and he wanted nothing. I need everyone to understand on this call is that I captured the vision right from the very first second that I saw the video. Andrew was very skeptical. He really didn't think that you know, he was all in on the holidays, but he wanted nothing to do with the business. And so when I came back from America, obviously Sashin was doing a Super Saturday in Durban. And I bought 2 tickets and I said to Andrew, "You've got to come with me. I don't want to go on my own." And Andrew did not want to go. He didn't want to go to this Super Saturday training. You know, people are high-fiving you, and he doesn't like people in his personal, and people are hugging you that you don't know. And, you know, the World Ventures family, they're crazy and they want to share the love and friendship. And he still didn't want anything to do with the business. And so all I did with Andrew, so if you've got a partner who doesn't understand it, they're not really supporting you, I'm going to tell you one thing: take them to the training events with you. I just took Andrew to every training event for the first year that we were a platinum member. And I obviously booked all the holidays. And at the end of that year, 2016, we went to the View from the Edge. And we both looked at each other and we said, we really have to start doing the business. And we didn't even have 4. After a year, we still didn't even have our 4. And it was coming out of the View from the Edge that I went and got wings qualified. And by the December, I hit senior rep. And then the following year in the February, and then we went away for 6 weeks. You know, we hit senior rep and then went on dream trips for 6 weeks back to back in Europe. I mean, people would have thought we were crazy because we had just got the momentum in the business, right? But my focus was not on how quickly I could make money. My focus was how much could I get involved in with the company and the product. That was kind of where we wanted to be. And we were just sucking in all the personal growth and development, because in a conventional business, you don't get the training like you get with World Ventures and Marcasetta. I mean, it's unheard of. You know, we had never ever done training like that before. So it was impacting our marriage, it was impacting our family, it was impacting our conventional business. And of course, we were growing as we were attending the training events. So, you know, that was basically the first 18 months of us being involved with World Ventures. And we didn't really do anything. We were not, you know, quick to get started in the business, but we were loving the process and the product. And then we made a decision in 2018, at the View from the Edge 2018, we made a decision that we were going to hit marketing director by that View. And then when we did that, we said, now we're going to hit regional marketing director by Momentum. And we did that. And 2019, we had regional marketing director, and then we went on the mega dream trip to Egypt, which was one of the promotions. And we came back from that and we hit a massive plateau. And because I think it's important, you know, if there's people on this call right now who maybe are like us, they didn't get started really fast. We stuck with the process. That's one thing I'm going to say to you, is that there were many times that I felt like that I deserved more, that I deserved to be IMD. You know, in my head, I still know that I'm an IMD. The back office just isn't showing it yet. But you got to understand, and this is what I'm realizing, is that in network marketing, it is such a process for you to grow into that space, for you to be ready to become a team leader. And I only really feel like that I'm ready now to be a team leader after 5 years of watching everybody else and learning. And I still watch other people's presentations. You know, I jumped onto Charles's presentation earlier this week just to be on the call and just to get his energy and watch how he presented. And he saw that I was on the call, and then he let me do a testimonial. And I'm still jumping onto other people's presentations because that was how I learned. And that is how I keep myself energized now too.
Awesome. Wow. So, I mean, for you, you took your time. I mean, you and Andrew took your time. You took your sweet time in warming yourselves up into the business. Now, I mean, I know the two of you run your own business. I mean, you have said that you run an insurance brokerage firm, which pretty much is doing very well. Now, what would you say? I mean, how better is this? I mean, coming into network marketing and particularly wealth ventures, what would you say has been the value for you here as compared to your traditional business, which is the insurance
That's
brokerage?
such a great question, because funny enough, you know, Andrew and I were talking about this morning at the office. So in our conventional business, we took a lot from World Ventures and implemented it into our conventional business. I mean, before this year, we were doing Zooms a long time before this whole COVID thing hit. So we were very used to doing business online, right? But in your conventional businesses, people were not doing business online. So it was very easy for us to take what we had learned in the network marketing space. And when we had shut down here in South Africa, we just flipped our business to online working from home. And what I'm going to tell you is that a conventional business is a lot harder to run, because you've got, especially in the space that we're in, we've got so many regulations and so many exams and so many things that you've got to pay for. And you're responsible to so much more in a conventional business. Network marketing is hard, but it is way more fun. That's one thing I'm going to tell you, because when you see other people winning, it gives you so much happiness in your heart. And then when you help them, and then the day comes when they pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, I just think I need to, don't you need me to do a team call for you or something? You don't get that in a conventional business. What we get in network marketing, and this is why network marketing is going to hit $200 billion annual earner by the end of 2020. And why it is right now becoming very fast the #1 profession in the world. Because 5 years ago, when we got introduced to network marketing and World Ventures, everybody was screaming scam and pyramids, and it's one of those things. And in a short short 5-year period, we've seen this industry get turned 360 into becoming such a sought after profession. We are now being looked at as professional entrepreneurs and network marketers. And what I'm going to say to you is that, you know, I did a call a little while ago, and I went and researched sales. And essentially, sales is what gets the worldwide economy out of depressions and recessions like we're in now. And everything we do, going way back to, you know, the Roman days, was network marketing. So anybody in sales that's in a convention, if you're a car salesman or you're working at the bank, opening up bank accounts, or an insurance broker, you essentially are a network marketer. And we just flipped it in conventional to sales. And this is what I want to say to you, is that it is so much easier for me to do network marketing and help the world get out of a recession or a depression than it is in a conventional business, because my network is so much bigger in network marketing. There's so many more people that I can go and work with and help. So if I had to choose all over again, if I could go back to my 20-year-old self, I'm turning 50 in January. If I could go back to being 20 and I knew that network marketing was available and what I know now after 5 years, I would choose network marketing first before I went into a conventional business.
Awesome. So, I mean, talking about some of the things you know now, I mean, which would have obviously made you choose network marketing over traditional business. Now, let's get into that. I mean, what are some of the things that you know now that you wish you knew in the beginning of your career in World Ventures? I mean, you have become a regional marketing director now with all the success and everything, the money, the dream trips, and all that. I mean, what are some of the things you wish you knew today? Right, or you wish you knew earlier, you know today that you wish you knew earlier, that would have catapulted you a bit faster to where you are right now?
Some of the mistakes that we've made, and we are restarting a brand new team. You know, last year, 2019 and 2020, we hit a plateau and then we hit major adversity and we lost a large number of our team. Most people would have quit. Most people would say, I do not have the energy to read. Charles, I had this conversation with Charles, you know, at the beginning of this year, because Charles had exactly the same thing about 2 years ago. People don't understand that network marketing, what the mistakes that I personally made in the beginning was ignorance on fire. And I should have gone and put in, you know, we've put to date 107 personals over a 4-year period. I should have done 100 personals in the first year. That was one of my biggest mistakes, is I used the product the first year, but the second year when I decided to do the business, I should have gone and put 100 personals in the first year. I shouldn't have done 100 personals over 4 years, because what I would have done is I would have taught myself faster, not to stay people. I would have got my duplication faster, because what I did was I came from a conventional world where in a conventional world, your manager works with you every day, all day. In network marketing, you can't do that, because you've got to understand two things, is that when people join network marketing, it's a voluntary army, number one. They're not looking for another boss or a manager. The second thing is it's their own business. They signed up as an independent representative. What my job should have been was to get them an independent representative within the first 7 days. And I think what my biggest mistake was is that I stayed working with one person 4, 5, 6 months down the line. I should have let them go after 7 days and said, right, you ready? The minute they've got their 4th person and they are a Wings qualified rep, they're independent representative, that's when you need to be independent. And you need to see that leader rise in them. So building a brand new team now, we are looking for fresh, new people to work with. I'm going to duplicate way faster, for sure. And, you know, the network marketing system that we've got in World Ventures, the way we all work together, all the teams around the world, I mean, you can put them onto multiple team training calls. There's one happening every single day. You don't necessarily have to do it. You can just plug them into one of the new member orientation training calls, and one team is having it every single day. Leverage off the system.
Very interesting. I mean, and I mean, it brings to mind right now. I mean, most of the time when people join this business, you know, they seem to fall easily into the management trap. You know, they get a few people that seems quote unquote to be doing something, and they seem to manage them, and these people literally are not pushing, and they are literally trying to turn chicken into eagle. So it's very important that you bring that up. So what would you say? I mean, what are some of the things that what are some of the things that you had to drop? I mean, what are some of the character traits that you had to drop? What did you have to become in terms of character? What are some of the values that you had to cultivate to get to the level where you are right now, joining World Ventures?
So for the people on this call, if you know Marcus Setter's colors, when I first went, the very first view from the edge in 2016 was when we got exposed to the colors. And I was a dysfunctional red. So my traits in the first 2 years, I was so dysfunctional that I was literally sabotaging my own team, to be very honest with you. So, you know, Andrew is a green, he's very analytical. So Andrew was very slow and he was overthinking everything. And then you've got me as a dysfunctional red who's just charging through, you know, are you in, are you in, are you in, are you in? You know, next. And I wasn't really taking the time, number one, I wasn't taking the time to duplicate people. I was not taking the time to listen to the different personalities in my team. And it's very important now to know that, to understand when somebody comes into your team, if you've got a Cheska who loves to do the foundations, you need to let them run with that. And then if you've got somebody who's very analytical green like Andrew, let him put the new slide promotions together, or let him do the team promotion. And then if you've got someone like me, I just want to do the presentation. I just want to ask at the end, you know, what do you want, platinum or gold? Let that person just do the presentation. What we try and do is we try and get everybody into kind of a one size fits all. And then you've got the crazy blues, and the crazy blues are the ones that should be doing the team parties and the team dinners, get-togethers at the DT local. And I think what I didn't do in the beginning is I didn't pay attention to those different personalities, and we've got some really great people in the team. So now I'm able to say to them, well, you run with it. You know, instead of me wanting to be involved 24/7 in everything, because you physically can't do everything. As your team grows and your organization grows, you need to let the new eagles come up and take over and do things.
Awesome. So with the knowledge you have right now, I mean, how do you usually get a new member start? I mean, you talked about duplication, and I would want to find out how do you get a new member to get off to a great start right now?
So, you know, what I've learned, and you have to, I used to let people, this was a big mistake that I made. I didn't make them do their list right then and there. The same day, do your list the same. I'm with you now, Harold. Let's make a list of your top 40 people. We are hiring a yacht tomorrow. We're getting on that yacht. Here are your first 40 people we're putting on the yacht for the party. You know, right now, my very next personal, the same day, I want to know how committed are they. If they make their list the same day, and we've got to do back-to-back presentations within the 24-hour period. And by the third Zoom, I want them doing the full presentation. So I want to get that duplication quicker. So quick coach videos. I don't want to make it complicated. The quick coach videos, I want to say to them, tell them how to make their list, how to invite, let's get on the phone. And all we do for 24 to 48 hours is we just invite and do the presentation. You want to try and help that person get their first person within the first 24. You know, score on 24, I mean, I always used to hear it. We used to talk about it, but essentially I never used to implement it. Now you've got, if you get that first one in 24 hours, and if you can get there 4 in the first 7 days, the belief system is there. Get them paid, you know, and if you're doing platinums and they earn $50 in their first week, your job is done. That's what I believe is what our job is number one, you got to get them presenting and having fun with the presentation as fast as possible. You got to get them, you know, their first person, and you've got to get them paid a cycle, something in the first 2 weeks. And then you let them run. Because if you do that, then you've probably got an eagle and you don't have a chicken, as you say. But the other thing is that if you do have a chicken that doesn't want to make their list, you can't drag them into it. Then you need to go put in a new person. Because I used to wait and I used to say, okay, phone every day. Okay, we're doing a home travel party tonight. You know, you just take too long.
Awesome. So let's talk about COVID for a minute. I mean, this year has been a great year for some people in World Ventures, and it's been such a bad and terrible year for other people. I mean, as in your corner, how has COVID impacted your business?
So for us, we obviously, Andrew and I personally did a lot of presentations. You know, when we hit lockdown, we went into such dynamic mode that we were doing online meetings for our insurance brokerage. And in between that, we were doing our own Zoom calls. And what it made me realize is that World Ventures can really be a home-based business. I do miss the live presentations. I do miss meeting people face to face. But essentially, we go out there and we tell people it is a home-based business, but we were never home. We were always traveling to Swaziland or to somebody's, you know, area to go and do a presentation for them. What COVID did for me is it made me 100% confident that what we do is actually a home-based business and it's an online business. So we've had a plateau, we've had adversity this year, but COVID has been good for us because now when we rebuild now, we are going to be showing people from the get-go how to do a Zoom, how to build from home without leaving your family for 2-3 weeks at a time. Unless you want to do that, you can actually build online from home.
Very interesting. So now, I mean, we have some 55 people on the call, and we're just 30 minutes into our interview right now. So I'm just going to allow for a few people to throw some questions. I'm sure we've got some participants on the call who definitely have some questions for you. So ladies and gentlemen, we're chatting with Regional Marketing Director Sally Ensor-Smith, all the way from South Africa. This lady is crushing it. In fact, she has earned $100,000 in her lifetime in World Ventures. A business owner, somebody who is very successful at her business for that matter, and also crushing this business. And if you have any questions for her, just raise your hands virtually. In a bit, I'll be allowing for you to put your questions before her. Now, Sally, I would also want to find out from you. I mean, what is your advice? I mean, most of the time, I wanted to take this, I wanted to focus more on how you've been able to drag Andrew along this, because from all that you said, and it looked like, you know, he wouldn't just come along, he wouldn't just, you know, move with the flow and all that. And you being a dysfunctional, right, as you call it, I'm sure it was very tough getting him to be on the same page as you. And there's so many couples on this call. I mean, I can't count the number of times I hear people talk about, you know, they're not getting support from their better halves and stuff like that. What is your advice, okay, for anybody on this call who is married and is not getting the support from their spouse? How would, I mean, you've said some about getting them into the trainings, but really, I mean, can you break it down? Because I just really want you to take your time and take them through what they really have to do to drag their partners along.
So in the first year, Andrew's resistance was a couple of things. You know, first things first is all of a sudden we started having all these different people coming into our lounge, into our living room, because I was doing travel parties at our house. And you can imagine, from being someone who sits on the couch watching TV and flipping channels every night, to now being kicked out of his lounge because I'm doing a presentation. That was the first thing for the family. You know, for my kids and for Andrew, It was just not common for them. And then all of a sudden, I was driving at night because, you know, we'd have people coming into Durban and I'd want to go and watch their presentation, you know, so it didn't matter who came to Durban. If there was a presentation, I wasn't at home cooking the dinner and I wasn't here. So the resistance from the family was huge. And I just knew that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be part of World Ventures because I'd seen the bigger picture when I went to the 10-year convention in January 2016. And you would understand, when I came back from that convention, South Africa had a newspaper article that hit it literally 3 days after I landed. And Andrew was getting phone calls to say, you better tell your wife to get rid of that "you should be here" sign because they're going to go to jail. And, you know, the tax people are investigating people in Cape Town. And, you know, and we were like, what on earth? This is crazy. You know, we're just having a lot of fun. But what I did with Andrew is I just realized that I had to either book a dream trip and take him on a dream trip, or I had to get him into the process of the personal growth development where he could get something out of it. So, or I had to make money because I told them that I was going to make money. So the first year, I made no money. I think I made $20 the first year. But we had spent like maybe $2,000 on going to America and all the training events. And so halfway through that year, we went to boot camp in Johannesburg. And I said to Sash, Sash, you know, I can't get Andrew to do anything in a presentation. And it just so happened that we had a couple of IMDs from America, and we bumped into them at the training events, and we got to have dinner with them. We were very lucky. And Andrew was just asking them questions. And what I did is I just left him to meet people at his own time. And in the December, we went on a dream trip. In fact, we went on 3 dream trips in the December. We booked our welcome dream trip. Because remember, I joined in the November 2015, and then the November, I had the whole year that I could use my welcome dream trip. And what we did was we did 3 back-to-back dream trips. And Andrew he was blown away with the service, the quality of the dream trip, the activities, and all the platinum inclusions that we got. So when we came back in the 2017, he was like, okay, so when are we going to a training event? So I got him hooked on the travel, and then I got him hooked on the training event. And then he slowly started doing the presentations, and he actually got better at the presentation than me. He started closing more people than I did, believe it or not. So, you know, what I'm going to say to you is that don't fight about it, because if you fight about it, you're probably going to lose against your family. Because your family has got a fear that you're doing something that they're not part of or they don't understand. So you've either got to make money really quickly, which I didn't, or you've got to get the family involved in the dream trips. And once they're involved in the dream trips, you're going to have to go out there and earn those Rovia bucks. Because when you earn the Rovia travel dollars and you're traveling for free, your family loves you. They will love you. So that's one thing I'm going to say to you is I just started chasing the cycles, and I started building up those Rovia bucks, and I started booking free dream trips. And the family just fell in love with the company.
They came along. So, I mean, looking behind you, I can see your vision board, and it's quite loaded. And I'm suspecting that this is what keeps you going. I mean, Sally, we all know that sometimes, listen, as human as we are, we get tired, you know, especially when you're putting in all the effort, and, you know, like you said, in your head, you feel you deserve to be empty, but the back office is not reflecting that. What keeps you going? I mean, despite all the challenges that come with building this business, what keeps you going on a daily basis?
So, you know, when I first joined, it was really all about me achieving my goal. I was so focused on hitting that next rank. And now, you know, we hit RMD, and we were $50 away from National Marketing Director last year. And we literally woke up and said, we got to do $50 today. This week, we got to close off the week so we'd done the numbers, but we hadn't done the income. And we woke up and we said, we got to get it done. But we woke up and the numbers started dropping. We had that $99 promotion, and then we had like some, there was just crazy things going on in 2019. And the numbers started dropping and we couldn't stop it. And we were disappointed, obviously, because we were so close to National Marketing Director. And in my head, I knew NMD, IMD, you should be able to pop those quickly if you are working with new people. I should have put in more personals. I should have, when we hit Regional Marketing Director, I should have gone and built a whole new team, a new lineage completely. But what I did was I started then getting too involved in doing team stuff and helping people to pay their monthly fees and, booking events for them and stuff like that. So I got wrapped up in the admin. It's good to help people with the admin, but they also need to learn it themselves, because I never went to my upline and asked them to teach me the admin. So what keeps me going is I just know the stories of the people that we personally put into the business, that they went on a plane for the very first time. They went on a holiday for the very first time. They paid off their house. They paid off a credit card. They bought a car for the first time because of us working with them in the business. So what drives me right now is I'm very passionate about working with boss ladies. And, Africa has got so much to offer the world. I mean, we right now are, and it's fact, if you speak to people, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I know that we are going to produce so many success stories coming out of Africa. And there's no ways I can be on the outside looking in and not be part of it. So my drive is, I'm going to get IMD. If it takes another 3 years, so be it. But for me, what's exciting is the journey along the way, because if it wasn't for World Ventures, there are so many people, Harold, Charles, I wouldn't have met Charles. I mean, I met Charles and Roger. I don't even think that they were senior reps when I met them at a training event. And it felt like I'd known them forever because we speak the same energy. Harold, talking to you now, we are so aligned with our energies because we just love life. And that's what's got to keep you going in World Ventures. The people that quit too early, I feel so sad for them because they don't get to experience the familyship and the friendship and the culture that network marketing and World Ventures can give them. And if you look around the world right now, so many people have got racial tension going on, or they're fighting about a different religion or a different way of thinking. And in our World Ventures world, we don't have any of that buzz. We don't have that stuff going on because we meet like-minded people and we one big family. So for me, that's what keeps me going. I just can't imagine living a year without meeting somebody new in the World Ventures experience and missing out on gaining a new friend. That for me would be sad.
I like the sound of that. So let's go into a day in the life of Sally. I mean, what is a typical day like for you? Because you see, one of the things that a lot of people struggle with, especially when they're doing this full time, is really how to manage their day. You see, and most people, when they're combining this with their corporate hustles, they tend to make time and squeeze a bit of time for. But once they get the freedom, they begin to struggle on how to really go all out with this business. So what is a typical? I mean, you run your business alongside building World Ventures, and I just want to know, how are you able to combine? What's a typical day like for you, combining family, running your business, and WV as well?
So I'm going to talk about 2019 and then I'm going to talk about 2020 because I think it's important that I share the mistakes that I made in 2019 with people. So last year, I had one cell phone and I was running both my businesses off one phone. And what was happening is that the minute there was a WhatsApp, I would check the WhatsApp and I would want to be involved in every single message. every minute of the day. And then people would be phoning for testimonials, and I would be leaving work meetings to give a testimonial, and I had no structure in my day. And then we would leave our office at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock and then travel somewhere, you know, to do a travel party. So, you know, last year I was very focused, and I would be traveling to Swaziland, which would take me 3.5 hours from where I live. We'd leave here on a Friday, travel to Swaziland. We would hit 24 to 48 hours back-to-back presentations, and then drive back on Sunday night to be back in Durban for Monday morning. And at the end of last year, I really had burnt out. I was exhausted. So when we got back from our dream trip in Hong Kong in January, it was the first time I'd been on a dream trip, and I was not 100% plugged in. I made a decision that I needed to unplug when I was on the dream trip. I was still giving testimonials, but I wasn't doing Zooms. I wasn't doing a presentation while I was on that dream trip. And then February came, and then March came, and we obviously hit COVID. And it allowed me to build structure. So first thing in the morning, I say good morning to my teams. I don't think there's ever a day that I don't say good morning to the people on the teams, on the WhatsApp groups. And then I will post what is happening for that day. Then I obviously sort out the family. Then I drive to work. I'm normally at work around about 8:30 in the morning. And I will, now this year, I've got 2 cell phones. I've got one for building for success and team expansion, and one for the business and the family. So when I get to the office, I put the team expansion, building for success, World Ventures phone one side until about 10:30, 11 in the morning. Because I make sure that before 8 a.m., I've posted and I've checked what needs to be posted. I will then do some Facebook messaging. I'll start doing 10, 20 invites so that we can get at least one person. My aim is to share it with one person a day, because I do it part-time. Some days I get 2 or 3 people in. But then what I do is at lunchtime, so at 12:30 your time is 2:30 my time. At 2:30 my time, I try and get somebody onto somebody's Zoom. So if Charles or Harold or somebody is doing a Zoom at that time, I try and be on there with my guest. And then if the people know me, I'll do a testimonial. And then I work again at my insurance brokerage until about 4:30. From 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock is, so we don't really have small children anymore. So I'll touch base with my kids. We'll have a quick dinner, and then we start doing the Zooms and start chatting to new people. So I'm very focused now on my personal activity. The team that we've got have all been to a training event. And I believe if you've been to a training event, you've heard the same information as me. I don't need to be babying you. So as long as I do my posting, they need to plug into what they, but I don't check up and say, hey, have you invited people? If they haven't invited people, it's their business. If they're not here a year from now, that's their decision, because I can't be waiting for them, because I'm on a mission now. We've got to go build a new team. So I do World Ventures 7 days a week, you know, a couple of hours, but your peak income generating times are going to be from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. And if you want to build an international team, I want to build a team outside of South Africa. My time zones are going to be a little different. So, you know, you may be waking up at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning to do a Zoom. So you've just got to structure yourself. I think you've got to be really, you've got to get disciplined with your time management. And if you're posting on Facebook, you put your post on Facebook and then you get off. Don't scroll through Facebook and look who's commented or, you know, what other people are posting, because that's going to waste 15, 20, 30 minutes of your day where you could be inviting someone. So I've just got really structured with my time this year. And I think that that's what's going to take me to IMD.
Awesome.
For sure.
Awesome. Definitely it is going to take you to IMD. Congratulations, because I mean, I sit back and I look at how you're able to combine all these things, and just in admiration of your efforts, and I must definitely congratulate you for all the good stuff that you're doing. And at this point, I'd like to see if there's anyone on this call who's got questions. I don't know if Clement's hand is raised. I saw Clement's hand raised. I don't know if it's still raised. So Clement, I think you have a question. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay,
hello?
Thank you very much. Hello?
Yes, please go.
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to find out if you have some write-up and then videos that we can post on the various social media to get people on board.
So, Clement, obviously, if you know what I'll do tomorrow is on Charles's groups and Harold's groups, I'll post what you can and can't post on social media. You know, obviously, you don't want to be spamming people with your product. And a lot of the time, I've seen people go really wrong on social media. You know, where they have the "you should be here" sign in people's face 24/7, and they verbally vomiting their products onto people on social media. And it's the worst thing, because people are just they're going to try and stay away from you if you do that. So what I did with social media is, when we go on a dream trip, I don't have the "you should be here" sign all of the time, you know, but people know that I'm on a dream trip, because we will obviously post little things like, you know, we'll have our bands, which has got a dream trip on, or maybe they've given me an umbrella, which has got dream trips on, "you should be here." So what I do is, we tend to post a lot of our travel. And then if we go out for dinner with the team and we do a DT local, we go live on social media for that. So, you know, people are very nosy. They want to, if they see you having fun, they want to be part of it. So for me, I've done social media in such a way that it's more about people wanting to be part of my community, part of my culture, part of how can, you know, and I'm going to say this, you know, in the beginning, we went to all our friends and none of our friends wanted to join us. My sister still thinks it's a scam 5 years later. $150,000 in commission. You know, 8 free holidays last year. She still will not let me talk to her about World Ventures. So I've just left it because she's missing out. I'm not going to miss out. But the funny thing is that we built to RMD with complete strangers. Not one person that knew me before World Ventures joined our team. People now, 5 years down the line, are saying, "Hey, Sally, do you still do World Ventures?" "Yes, I do." "Okay, well, show me." Because I've stayed long enough for them to now say, well, they can't make a joke out of it because I've been here for 5 years. So Clement, if I was you, you know, in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of content. So I leveraged off other people. When I went to a training event, I would take a photo with somebody that I just met. And the funny thing is that when I posted a photo, like if I was like with Hadassah, people would say to me, "Who's that lady you were with from Uganda? Why are you with her? What were you guys doing?" You know, so they got curious as to why I was with Hadassah, because she's from Uganda and I'm from South Africa. So I would create the curiosity. If you've got a small team, do a dinner, do a lunch on a Saturday afternoon and post about that. You know, if you do a give back like Cheska and you guys did, I would create my own foundation day and then post about that. So it doesn't have to be that all of a sudden you become this motivational guru, because every second person on Facebook is all of a sudden a network marketing motivational speaker. You know, and people they're getting tired of that, because I think they just want the real story. If you just be authentic and real on social media, you're probably going to get the real people, which are going to be very curious and say, "What are you doing? You hanging with different people. We can see that you're thinking differently. The way you're talking is a little different." They're going to want to know what you're doing.
Awesome. So
Okay.
if there are any more questions, we'll take them, but we're gradually getting to the end of our interview tonight. So Sally, one last thing that I want to find out from you, what sort of PD materials do you feed on? What books do you have on your shelf that you would want to share with us? You know,
Right,
you might
let's
want.
take a walk. So the one book that I'm reading at the moment is Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. This is a great book. Great book. And then over here, so on my shelf, I don't know if you guys can see. So we've obviously got Tribe of Mentors, Leaders Eat Last, great book. Find Your Why. This is a great book, by the way. Find Your Why.
Find Your Why.
By Simon Sinek. This is a great book. Start With Why. Also by Simon Sinek. Very good book. I've got a Robin Sharma, Discover Your Destiny.
Destiny. The monk who sold his Ferrari.
Yeah, the monk who sold his Ferrari. Obviously, The Magic, guys. If you haven't read The Magic or you haven't watched the video, you've got to go and get this. Andrew and I are huge on affirmations. It was one thing that Matt Morris actually spoke to Andrew and I about quite a while ago. And the other one you definitely want to look at getting, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. So we've got our books here, as you can see. So yeah, for sure. But the one that I'm reading at the moment is Sell or Be Sold. And obviously we've got our vision board. You know, my vision board this year was, I see abundance everywhere. Japan, we definitely want to be going to Japan in the next 12 months. And I wanted to build major relationships this year. So one of my things was I wanted to build really good relationships with people inside World Ventures and outside World Ventures. So, you know, we've definitely, you know, if you have a look at where I do my Zooms, I've got these bands here, which it says, whatever it takes, no negativity allowed, keep pushing. You asked me about how do we stay in the game. So you've got to have things in front of you that just keep reminding you and taking you back to why did you want to do this in the beginning? And your why is going to change along the way. And success is my duty. We have a responsibility to the world to be successful, because when you become successful, you get more so you can give more. And that really only came to me when we started. You got to understand, when you're doing a full-time job, you're paying all your expenses off that full-time job. Any extra money that you get from World Ventures really is a bonus when you do it part-time. So when we started getting that extra money in dollars, we just found all of a sudden we could help other people. We could give more. And I don't mean by paying for people's registrations, because that was a mistake that I also made in the beginning. And, you know, people say, but I don't have the money to get started. And you go, okay, well, I'll help you, you know, and when you get your 4, then, you know, you can pay me back. They don't even get their 4, they quit before then. So that was another big mistake. That's a no-no. But when you get the extra money, the freedom that it gives you, it makes life a lot easier. And what I'm going to say to you is that if you keep pushing with World Ventures and you start making the money, I mean, I spoke to Martin and Dio. He's 10 weeks in a row, he's done over 100 cycles. And Martin had massive adversity. I mean, Martin was so close to national marketing director, lost his entire team to him and 2 people. And when he told me that, and he said to me at the end of last year, he said, Sally, you have to have the adversity. You have to lose your whole team to go IMD. He said, because when you build again the second time, you build stronger. So whatever it takes to keep you in the game, don't ever quit this thing. Because it's going to reward you in so many ways. I mean, it's not necessarily about getting the trophies or getting the rings. It's there's a sense of accomplishment, and it's your duty to be successful. So don't stop until you hit that rank that you want to do.
Don't stop until you hit that rank that you want to do. So if there are no questions here, Sally, if you've got any last words, but if not, we're just going to wrap up here. Have you got any last words? If there's anybody on this call, I'm sure there's a lot of people on this call who are literally burning out. They've tried it all. You know, they've practiced all the how-tos, spoken to everyone on their contact list. They've burnt out their contact. In fact, once people see them coming, they begin to run away. What words do you have for people like that on this call who seem to be doing everything that they possibly can, but this thing doesn't seem to be working for them?
So when you're feeling in that space, I'm going to tell you to go to a training event, because like right now we've got a future, we've got Super Saturday coming up, and then we've got the view from the edge. And when you're feeling stuck, there's one thing that's going to kickstart you and reset your brain is stop beating yourself up about it. Okay. Take a step back, kick into a training event, switch off to the world, focus on that training event. So if you don't have your ticket for the Super Saturday this and David Helgeson are going to say, Marcus Setz is going to be on, and there's somebody else coming on. Listen to what they're going to say, and that will reset your mind, because if you're making the same mistake, you've got to go to a training event to unlock your next block. And you'll see that you'll then get back into the energy, get back into the team. And don't be scared to phone somebody in your area and ask them to get together with you. Because sometimes just working with a partner, get an accountability partner. When I'm having a down day, I've got Andrew to kick my bum. And when he's having a down day, he's got me to kick his bum. So if you're working on your own, reach out to someone in the team and say, let's partner up. And let's get our accountability and get your focus board. You know, I've still got my focus boards up, and it reminds me of how many people I've got to have at a training event. It reminds me of the life cycle, you know, of the RC. So that's what I would do, because without an accountability partner, it's very easy to say, it's like going to the gym. You know, if you don't have somebody that you've got to meet at the gym, it's easy to lie in bed and say, I'll go tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. So Harold, I've enjoyed being on the call. We've had a lot of fun. I hope that my journey helps somebody on this call to hit the next rank, and we'll be celebrating you guys in 2021 for sure. Ghana's going to be walking the stage big time.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sally, for making time to be on this call. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been chatting with Regional Marketing Director, 100K LT, and Sally Ensor-Smith, all the way from South Africa. Sally, listen, thank you so much for staying up to be on this call. We truly appreciate you. I've got mad love and respect for you, and we've been cheering you on from Ghana. And guess what? National Marketing Director is closer than you think. Very soon we'll be cheering and celebrating you from around the world. Thank you so much for making time out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been yet another edition. Next week, same time, we'll come back your way with yet another great guest. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Ciao, guys.